Yo, what is going on, everyone? I'm Steve from Berkfam 54 Comics. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Berkfam. We're going to have my good friend Chris, the comic vet, come on tonight, talk about some comic books, get to know him and all of that. Before we do that, though, let's hit that intro. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring him in. We got Chris, the comic vet. He's rocking a no sleeves. I'm not. What is up, dude?
What's going on?
How are you doing, man?
Good. If I known that you would have been going like with the football motif, you know that who I'd be representing, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Bills Mafia, which my guy Justin comments,
Yep.
is a big Bills fan.
Yep.
And it's funny,
Texas
the guy that lives behind me, he literally lives right behind me. This guy's a huge Bills fan. Rocks the Bills flags all the time. I'm a Chiefs fan, obviously, but I'm not crazy. I'm more of a big K-State fan. You know that for sure. Before we get any further, I do want to say that tonight's Meet the Berkfam is brought to you by comicbook_Preston on Instagram. If you ever need any books pressed, head up Eric over at comicbook_Preston on IG and use my promo code BERK54. Get free shipping back to you on your first order. Also, I don't have anyone that's used it yet, but if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, hit that link below, hit that StreamYard affiliate. It's the same cost for you. I just get a little kickback as the affiliate. So, like I said, if you're thinking about starting YouTube and you're thinking about doing a live stream, try StreamYard for sure. There's a link below. Okay. We don't have that many people in here quite yet. A lot of people watching Monday Night Football, I assume. Rob's Fat Stacks was here last week. What is up? Burke post bad picks of his guest. Make himself look good. So you messaged me about that today. I'm like, yeah, I just always done that. Like, I don't know, like after the first or second time, like I go and try to get a photo of someone, and like the best way to do it is from their YouTube videos. And so I'm trying to take a screenshot of them, and it's always like right in the middle of them talking, so they look kind of goofy. And I'm like, I just started using it. I'm like, whatever, they just look awful. It's just gonna be funny. So I've been doing that basically every time for 21 episodes. So that's part of it. What up, Becker? How's it going, man?
It's funny. I sent you that message, and then I'm like, let me see if I can find him a decent picture, like to send to him. And then you're like, no, man, like this, it's what I do. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, it is what I do. It is what I do. I think if I could try to find some other ones, but if you go in, they all look for the most part, they look kind of goofy. What is up, Wheelchair Superhero 87? Another dude who's the same age as me. I just turned 34 a couple of weeks ago. I'm assuming you are as well now. Ignacio, what is up, dude? How are you? Digger Jim, what is going on, brother? You could always ask them for a pick, Steve. You know, I could. But you know what? I don't want them to have to feel like they got to do anything except for show up, talk comic books for an hour, and that's it. That is it. So, like I said, if you guys ever have any questions, I always say this every single time I do the show. If you have questions for the guests, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I will definitely try to get them asked. Before we get further, I didn't know this for a long time. I thought your name, the comic vet, was because you were collecting comic books like your whole life and you were just like a veteran, but it's actually a different name, right? You used to be in the Canadian military, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of that, I guess, double play and double entendre, whatever you want to. However, you're the teacher, you're the linguist. Let me know what the words I'm looking for. But yes, it does have that double meaning. I'm actually a second generation comic book reader. My late father, he was a comic book reader in his youth, throughout the 50s and into some of the 60s, and he preferred westerns over superheroes. So he really fell in love with, the American, that whole American mythos of people that are heroes, but yet they're kind of villains too. He really enjoyed that kind of thing, and a lot of the American Civil War, along with the American Mexican War. So he read a lot of history comic books as well. And I remember him always talking about Hopalong Cassidy and Gene Autry, those TV shows that turned into comic books with the Dell photo covers. I have a handful of them, actually. I managed to find them after he passed away. And so that's kind of what the veteran part about comic books itself on the whole handle part. But yeah, I did serve basically out of high school. I joined the Canadian Armed Forces. I joined the Army. I served for a few years. My plan was to be educated, basically, and have the Canadian government pick up the bill, and get my education that way, and in turn serve my time. Unfortunately, the recession of the early '90s hit, and a lot of cutbacks were done to the Canadian Armed Forces. And after serving a few years, I was given the option, well, you can wait another two to begin your undergrad, or you can take an honorable discharge. Well, at the time, I had a little guy on the way, and I decided to, well, maybe it's time to step into a different role that could pay a little bit better, because without your education, you're not going to move up within the military. And it was good for a single guy, but with
Right.
someone, at the point where, hey, you're gonna have to start being a parent. Yeah, you have to make that big decision. So yeah, my handle, everyone he's talking to is his wife. But the story is, I couldn't really figure out a handle when I decided to do this whole YouTube social media kind of thing, and I didn't want to play into the whole, Toronto comic book reader or Canadian comic book reader, because there's a million and one of those.
Sure.
And the thing is, I'm really into American society. Like, I'm in the United States when the borders open. I'm in the United States all the time, and I've crossed over the United States, and it was just a part of my heritage growing up. My family is from the East Coast of Canada. However, they're big supporters of the United States. All the work that they ever did was always with American companies. And I just didn't want to play into that whole Maple Leaf kind of thing. Although obviously I talk about being Canadian and all that,
Right.
just because it's just a fun talking point. But I kind of wanted to play the whole vet thing into it, and just kind of have it a few different meanings, and came up with a comic vet. And I searched it, and there was no one else that had it. And so I decided to go with it. And a couple months later, another gentleman decided to give the handle a go. And so now there's technically two of us, but he kind of changed his name when I reached out to say, hey, I'm using the handle. Would you consider changing it? He was kind enough to switch it to something else. So yeah.
That is interesting, man. That
Mm-hmm.
is super interesting. I didn't know that someone else was using that
Mm-hmm.
name. And what's interesting is also my sister joined the military right out of high school.
Yep.
Same reason. She wanted to go to college, get it paid for free from the military. And she's actually still in the Army in America. And she's actually, I'm sure the ranks are different, can Canada versus America, but she just got leveled up, or promoted, I should say, to a major, which is like a
Oh, so she's an officer. Okay.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely an officer, and
Mm-hmm.
she got her master's a couple years ago, right around the same time that I got mine, right around 2018, I think, is when she got her master's as well.
Terrific.
So, yeah, she got all that for free, and she's doing pretty well, and she's about to actually get out of the military right now for health reasons, but yeah, same reason. So
That's wonderful.
that's
Mm-hmm.
and about Canada, I think I've told you this, but I don't know if maybe I haven't. I did a live stream about a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a year and a half ago, with a bunch of Canadian comic book collectors. I had Team CGC 9.8 on there. I had Newbie Comics, and then I had this other guy who doesn't make comic book videos anymore, but it was the Canadian comic book collector. And it was a good time. They talked about how like prices are different there. You got to pay like an upcharge on things, so
Yes.
the dollars different there. So like a $5 comic here is like $7 there, and like all these different things about how books don't always get there on time because you got to go across the border, and how much longer it takes to send books to CGC. Like all these things I had no idea about if you're trying to collect comic books in Canada.
Yeah, even as a kid, like, this was the first Spider-Man that I bought with my own money. Now, I had comic books long before this, but with my own allowance, the first book that I bought was the Spider-Man 274. And right here, it actually says 75 cents in the United States, but 95 cents in Canada. And in case a lot of you Americans don't realize, there's actually two sale taxes here in Ontario. You have the provincial sales tax, and there's a Canadian government GST tax on top of that. You're actually taxing the tax. So as a kid, I was given $5 an allowance way back in 1984, 85. So I had to be smart about my money even then, because
my gosh, dude.
so for $5 you can get 5 comic books. However, taxes kick in, so that put it over, like it would put it around the neighborhood of, a buck and a nickel. So then I would only be able to get 4 books. But if you're smart, you pick up some of those like Marvel Age comic books for a quarter or 35 cents, and that way at least there's still more reading material, but it's just basically a checklist for next month for stuff that's coming out. So yeah.
Mark, you were funny. You are real funny. There are some questions in here for some people. Let me go back up here. How long did Chris study to be a veterinarian? What you talking about there?
Right. Yeah, that's a good joke. The first time I heard anyone ever make a joke about being a veterinarian versus being a veteran was
okay. I don't know why I didn't click it right away. I'm sorry.
Taylor, when Slotted Up and Taylor used to do Rigged, Mark and myself went on. Mark and I went on, and Taylor was the first one to say, "Yeah, a veterinarian," and then it kind of, I don't want to say it took on a life of its own until Kay Titus said something. Kay Titus did a shout out video for me, and he talked about, the guy that'll like take care of your comic books, a doctor for your comic books. I'm like, wait a minute, like, I'm not a veterinarian. Like, don't get me wrong, I love animals, but no.
That's hilarious.
No. Mark's more of a veterinarian than ever I am, and he just works at a shelter. Like, so
yeah. And what's funny is you call him, video call him, phone call him.
Yeah.
He'll pick that up. Middle of grooming a dog, he'll pick that up. Hey, I'm going outside real quick. Hey, appreciate everyone for joining us right now. This is awesome. The best Canadians are the French ones.
Well, because in Canada there are two distinct languages, English and French, whereas the United States just has English, as a distinct language. And Quebec is a very distinct society. So those people.
I'm learning something new. I did not major in social studies or any of that. I have no idea about anything Canadian. I have been to Canada before.
Okay.
Whistler.
Oh, Whistler. Very nice. It's some of the most beautiful parts of the country.
Whistler. It was beautiful. Yeah. So I went up to visit my family that I have in Oregon, and they had a timeshare in Whistler, and we went up there for about 3 or 4 days, and it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. And anything in the Pacific Northwest is beautiful for sure. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Oh shit! I understood that reference. Oh my goodness! Like I said, if you guys have questions for Chris, go ahead and put them in the chat. What is up, Dale? Dropping 2 videos in one day. That's what's up. I need to check out your second one for sure. I don't know what the hell that means.
Parlez-vous français? Do I get tired for apologizing for Canada? Canada has nothing to apologize for.
Oh, there you go. See,
no,
you guys don't
we're
start wars.
We're just polite. We're just polite and say sorry when something's not going well. But
you always have people's backs too. Like whenever America does something, you just got our back. But you don't ever start wars like we do. So you
no, we're the peacekeepers. Yeah.
You know what's interesting?
Sometimes peacemakers.
I figured out when I was talking to Newbie Comics one time, there's actually more people that live in California than live in the entire country of Canada.
So let me just correct Newbie on that. There's more people that live in Los Angeles and New York City combined than all of Canada. If you take California and put it up against the country of Canada, it might be kind of close. But New York City and Los Angeles together alone, dwarf Canada.
When I looked it up, it was like California was like 39 million and Canada was like 37 million. It was really close.
We're like 45 now.
Oh, okay. So the census just hasn't been updated. The census hasn't been updated.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, first off, we gotta wear Chief shirts on Mondays to school, and this is a birthday present for my wife, so that's why I'm wearing it. and it is getting colder here. Though today was pretty nice. And then I'm pretty sure Chris was wearing no sleeves because he thought I was going to be. And I probably should have. But we took my daughter to ice skating
Bill's
lessons
hoodie off for
so
this.
I'm sure you would appreciate that. Took her to ice skating lessons tonight, and it was cold in there, so that's why I'm wearing it still. So let's see. Like I said, if you guys have questions for Chris, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I will definitely try to get them asked. Remember that episode of Reg? Okay.
Yeah, Mark beat me.
The best Canadians are the ones that stay there. That's not very nice. It's kind of funny.
I spent so much money in his state to support the local economy, and he's taking shots like that.
Right.
He lives in a state that has Erie in it. Like, come on, man.
What's your most personal book in your PC? So I'm assuming he's asking like, what is something you have like an emotional attachment to? Not like maybe your favorite book, not your most expensive one, but like maybe something that's your most personal.
I usually keep it very close by. Let me just take my earplugs out for a second.
Okay.
I'll show everybody.
Sounds good. There we go. Canada, 39.6 million. Sorry, California, 39.6 million. Canada, 38.2 million. 2021 census, according to Mark.
Yeah.
Could be different, though. Could be different. Who knows?
Yeah, we got some unregistered aliens here, too.
Here comes the Turok. Oh, my goodness. Okay, explain to us what's going on at this book.
Plain and simple, this was my dad's book.
Okay.
I lost my dad in 2008, very suddenly and unexpectedly. And it was a short while after going through some of his stuff, I managed to find a comic book. And this was the book that I found. So I had it cleaned and pressed. And I get that it's only 2.5. It's had some love in its time. It's been enjoyed. And this was the only book that I found. So I decided to,
that's awesome.
Like I said, have it slabbed up, and that way it's preserved properly. And then it was a little bit of time later that I actually ended up finding a small stash of some of his Westerns. So I also have now, I believe somewhere, probably in the neighborhood of 25 of his Westerns. So that's that one and the Spider-Man I showed earlier, which was the first Spider-Man I ever got with my own money. Those are my two most personal books. I've
not heard that story before.
Okay.
I've not heard that story before, and I'm really glad that I did hear that. I thought they were talking about a Turok #1.
It was my dad's book.
That's
and
awesome.
Like I said, if he would have been alive and he would have handed me his stack of comic books, it'd be completely meaningless. It'd be a punchline. But it's the fact that I found just the one book after he passed away, and that was it. And so it is what it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I know when my grandpa passed away in 2009, he was like my only like fatherly figure there my entire life until he passed away. He was a big K-State fan. He took me all the football games and basketball games ever since I can remember. And then I remember going over to his house and picking out, like, you guys don't ever see it, but it's like all of that K-State stuff over there in that shelf I basically got from his house. So yeah, it's kind of special to me too. So that's cool. That's a great story. That is a really, really great story. As a second gen collector, that story hits me in the feels every single time. Nice. I say we put Chris on a poll and Rob and Mark fight for him. They're both in love with you. They're both in love with you.
I just try to be a good
for showing the sexy arms. Hey, thank you, Digger Jim. thank you to him for showing his sexy arms to get the
Oh.
$1.99 super chat. Which, by the way, there was a question on that. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Sure.
Where is it? Hold on, I found it. Maybe I didn't find it. Oh, there it is. Wheelchair Superhero 87. What is your arm, Chris?
Well, I have two of them. Nah, I'm not a sarcastic guy. I try not to be sarcastic. It's got a good sense of humor. This is just my 4 initials and my birth year in Roman numerals. A bunch of us, when we graduated from basic training, we all kind of went out and got the same style tattoo. Yep. And this one, well, this one was an interesting ride. It was 5 straight hours, 3 layers, a black, then the blue, then the reds. It's been touched up completely, so it's actually been done 2 times over. A young girl did it for me, worked out a real good deal. I think it was $550. My girl paid for some of it, and yeah, it was something that I contemplated getting done for a long time after my father passed away. Something that I wanted to, just have that meant something to me, but also would be a talking point. Like, why in the world would a 40-year-old guy at the 40 at the time turn around and go get a Spider-Man tattoo? Well, the thing is,
it's beautiful, dude. I really do.
The thing is, my father and I didn't have a lot in common, other than the love of American politics and comic books. And I'm not about to go out and get, Ronald Reagan or George W. Bush because he was a conservative put on my arm, but I would go get a comic book character put on my arm just to make reference that it's one of the few things that both him and I enjoyed at the same period of time in our lives. It's just I still enjoy them to this day, where he just moved on to real novels, I guess.
GW, huh? You don't like GW, huh? I wasn't old enough to vote when he was in office. So
no, my dad my dad would be a Republican if he was an American. That's for sure.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go. I think that personally, I'm not going to get anything politics.
No, we don't need to go. I don't want to talk about my own politics, but I'll talk about what my dad was.
Yeah. I go off of how I believe in certain things, and I'm honestly usually right in the middle, depending on how I feel about things. So I feel like that's the best way to be. But that's just personally how I feel. I would pay tens of ones of American dollars to see that, Mark. $2 super chat. Thank you, Mark. Money to see some chest. It was probably chest day at the gym for Chris.
Okay,
that's funny.
No.
Chris reserved the Ronald Reagan tattoo for below the belt.
Yeah. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. Yeah.
Hashtag Reaganomics.
Right.
Oh my goodness. If you guys have questions, like I said, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll definitely try to get them asked for sure. This is something that I don't know if I necessarily know. What's on your weekly poll list? What is something that you maybe not all of them, just you could say just a couple of them that you try to grab every single time you're at the comic shop that comes out weekly or bi-weekly or monthly.
Okay, so stuff like outside number ones or just limited series kind of stuff right now. Something is killing the children. Mm-hmm. I'm just live or die with it right now at this point. It hooked me in around issue 6, I believe, and I've been riding that train ever since. Some people are really hating on this current arc, which is about to be finished or whatever, but it's something that I thoroughly enjoy. I also really enjoy Wonder Woman. I've been reading Wonder Woman for quite a while now. She's gone through a bunch of different writers and different artists. Some are good, some are bad. Take it as you want, but again, it's easy for me to say, oh yeah, I pick up all the big stuff, ASM and Thor and Batman and Detective Comics. But it's the stuff that not everyone picks up that I pick up, and I don't necessarily always talk about on At Week's End on Mark's show. But it's stuff that I still thoroughly enjoy, and I pick up for what it is. another a book that I'm really enjoying would be Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
this current run, I think we're at issue 9 maybe, or issue 10.
Yep. Issue 9.
I early and when they started this unmarked show, I made the mention. I'm like, I'm kind of getting the feeling that Suicide Squad is the backbone of the entire continuity that we have going on right now. And once that was dropped, yep, it just kind of blossomed into this thing. Like anything that's kind of big that's going on in the DC universe, Suicide Squad somehow has their hand involved. And I got to admit, Amanda Waller is one of my all-time favorite characters.
How can you not like that? How
Like
can you not like her, right?
seriously, like she is just so villainous and so good. And it doesn't matter, like to me, the quality of the writer that's handling her, like whether it's Tynan or like you can't really go wrong because no matter how sinister you want to make her, it's fine because that's really who
Right.
she is. And this current I did want to say limited runs or limited series, but because it's now going to be ongoing, but Ron V Swamp Thing. That's
Hmm.
I'm really enjoying that as well. Fingers crossed for ASM, that hopefully it turns around. Like
Do you like Ben
uh,
Riley?
uh
My buddy D-Ron Comics is a huge Ben Riley fan,
I
but he's the
uh,
only person I know that likes him.
uh I like Miles better than I like Ben Riley, just
Okay.
because Miles is just a whole brand new palette. Like they can do what they want with him just because he's still so fresh, right? He's still brand new. The character's not even 15 years old. Like, let's be honest. Ben Riley, again, it's okay. To me, it's okay. But anything is better than, the dribble that we've been getting over the last 4 or 5 years.
You mean
So
with the
I'll
Nick
take it.
Spencer run?
Yeah. I really not.
Yeah.
I try not to say his name.
You sound like me and Tom King, honestly,
Okay.
because yeah, that run was not good. There was a question here that I missed earlier. A couple questions actually, and I'll try to get to both. Chris, do you collect anything outside of comic books?
Yes, I collect NFL full-size helmets autographed. I'm a huge autograph collector. I've been published a few times talking about sports autograph collecting. Uh, I used to volunteer my time with a major Toronto autograph facilitator.
Wow.
80% of the time they would do hockey because,
Sure. Right.
Toronto is Toronto. But often they would get in baseball, some wrestling, some football, and some basketball. Raptors actually do have a pretty large following here, believe it or not. And yeah, I did that for a number of years. And like I said, I got published a few times. And but yeah, it's been tough just because the border's been closed for so long now. But autographed football or NFL football helmets is something that I collect,
That's
and
awesome.
only I try to get in person. Obviously, like I've again flown across North America. I've gone to Las Vegas to get Joe Montana on a helmet. Uh,
Wow.
like I have a Heisman helmet with at least 15 different Heisman winners on it now. An
Holy
NFL
cow.
an NFL Hall of Fame helmet with over 20 different Hall of Famers on it with the Hall of Fame inscription as well. Yeah, but it is what
That's
it
cool,
is.
man.
Yeah, man.
That's really cool. You and I are big sports fans.
Yeah.
Big sports fans. So that's cool. That's what I did not know that. That's awesome. Which by the way, Las Vegas is amazing. I've been there a few times. I would live there if I could. I'd go broke, but I would live
Yeah.
there if I could.
Yeah. I often joke with my girlfriend, like if we hit the lottery, bye bye Canada. Hello Vegas.
I
No, I mean set up
love
shop
it.
there. Like Las Vegas is a good hub city, like much like Atlanta, like you can
Yeah.
fly anywhere in the world you want out of McCarran. Like, yeah. And
Um,
I do see uh Chris speaking French in the chat or whatever.
yeah, I saw it too.
Uh I did very,
No idea
very
what that means.
well in French in high school, but my French today wouldn't be able to carry me that far. There's some things he put there that I do recognize so that I could answer. But my French, as I would say, je parle-vous français petit.
So, Chris, what was the J. Scott Campbell work that started your unhealthy infatuation with him?
Oh. I wouldn't say it's unhealthy. Uh,
Wait, hold
probably.
on. Wait. Is Mark's infatuation with Jang unhealthy?
There's a question we'll let the entire chat answer. There's a chat. Is Mark's uh
Mark's infatuation with John Jang unhealthy?
is it unhealthy?
Who knows?
If his wallet can handle it, then it's healthy. If his wife is okay with it, then I guess it's healthy. I wouldn't say it's unhealthy, but J. Scott Campbell did that famous piece of art where Peter has his mask off and he's kind of coming over the back of the couch, hugging MJ, who's sitting on the couch with her legs tucked up under her. It's in their apartment kind of thing.
Yes,
and I think most recent, it was really turned. I think it was turned into a statue just a couple months ago, actually. I think Sideshow may have done it, and it was that piece that really caught my eye. Like obviously being a Spider-Man collector, you're aware of who J. Scott Campbell is.
Sure.
But it was that piece that kind of like, oh, okay, I'm not going to look at this like campy work anymore. And then his Gwen Stacy stuff. I don't mean Spider-Gwen, but truly just the Gwen Stacy work, pardon me, that he does, I think is just stunning. But my favorite artist of all time is Arthur Adams. Todd would probably be a close second. But I get today's artists have a much different style, like John Jang, Archer. They're totally different from the late 80s, early 90s stuff that was like the Jim Lee heyday and Liefeld heyday. This is a whole different animal that we have today, and I can appreciate that. Like, I really like Tyler Kirkham's work as well.
Yes, Tyler Kirkham's pretty good too. He's not one of my top 5, but I like if I look at his stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Clayton Crane is one of my favorites for sure.
Yep.
I like Clayton Crane.
Mm-hmm. His Spider-Man work is terrific too.
Saying something about me and Claremont and Jabroni. Claremont's a jabroni. Burke doesn't know French.
That you don't speak French. Parle is speak. Yeah.
I don't know what the rest of that means. Okay, cool.
The one thing Chris Barrett that's there, if I were to meet him on the street and he started speaking French to me, I would just say, Christophe, parlez-vous anglais? And that's just saying, Chris, do you speak English? And then I would say that my français est petit. It's small. I could get through Quebec if I had to, kind of thing. But unless you live there, unless you practice it every day, you kind of lose it.
Who would you pick as your dream team writer artist combo, and what character?
Oh boy,
Chris Claremont.
Chris Claremont and Arthur Adams for a 6-issue run on Wolverine.
Say those two again.
Chris Claremont and Arthur Adams to do a 6-issue run on Wolverine, because there's so many different artists or so many different writers that I would love to do Peter Parker in ASM, as just way too many for me to pick from. I could throw a million. Like, I would like to see
Claremont Wolverine right there.
Right. I would love to see like Rom V and insert artist A into here, do a small short run on ASM and take him out of New York and put him somewhere different. Put him somewhere that's not his own culture and just see what happens. Because Rom V, can do that kind of thing. But just straight up, Claremont and Arthur Adams, old school, giving Wolverine a hell of a time in 6 issues.
I love it. I would read that. I would consider anyone buying repetitive Crane covers of Venom unhealthier. Okay. Well, he's talking about me. Burke has an unhealthy love of Clayton Crane books still being a... Yeah, I do. I got 2 of them. I got a Wolverine number 8 Black Lights there. Beautiful cover. Beautiful. And a Crane bow. And then I have my Venom 200 Black Light and a Crane bow as well. I do not like JR. Do you like JR?
I liked his Marvel run in the mid to mid 80s, early 90s stuff. I'm at the point now I can't recognize his work compared to what it was then. But I remember Mark showed a piece recently. It may have been a Venom, maybe for Venom 1. I think it was Ramita that had the hand of Venom that kind of went really weird. I thought that was a fantastic piece.
The faces are all messed up if they're not close up. His close up stuff is okay. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. People in the background, he draws like a dot for their eyes and then like a line for their mouth. And I'm just like, come on, man. Come on. But yeah, he's John Romita Sr. though. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, we're talking legendary now.
For sure. Great question, Chris. He definitely splits people down the middle. I don't know what he's talking about there. Where do you stand on slabs versus raw? Because you are on Slab Hub, but where do you stand on that?
Well, I'll be brutally honest. There are times when I'm in the comic shop and I'm looking at a book and I'm like, how would that look slabbed up? So I am a guy that believes in big value books. Like when they're raw, you need to slab them up. Not for value that way, but you just need to protect those books the best that you can.
Investment.
If it comes in at a 9.4, God bless you. If it comes in at a 9.8, God bless you. As long as you take that time to protect it, i.e., like what I did just for my dad's book.
Yep.
Like this is Turok 12. Like no one's going to be going anywhere looking for Turok 12. But again, I knew that this was the best type of protection. Say if wherever I was living or moved and something got dropped on it, well, I know that it has a little bit of protection. It could be waterproof. Like that's the kind of thing that I think about. Like, but yeah, if it wasn't so difficult for me where I live, I would have considerably even more slabs of what I already do. I've been kind of waiting for the border to open back up. I got 150 books that I think I need to get slabbed up. I got some early Something is Killing the Children stuff. I got some Spider-Man. Like I even have ASM 2 or is it 3? Rob, if you're watching, help me out. I have an early ASM that needs to be cleaned and pressed and then slabbed up. But again, I'm not going to do anything until the border opens because it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to get it shipped back into Canada. But then if it gets pulled in by the Canadian government, I'm going to have to pay a crap ton of duty on top of it all. So I would, patience is a virtue. And I've really just been patiently waiting for that border to open up. And like, I actually had, speaking of Clayton Crane, I have this that I would love to slab up. And I have the real one too, that it still needs to get slabbed up. So yeah, I appreciate a raw book. Don't get me wrong. I am a reader first and a collector second.
Sure.
But I'm not going to say to someone, don't slab it or keep it raw. My attitude will be, do you love it? Then maybe you should slab it just for personal protection.
There you go. Slabbages, as Mark would say. Slabbages. I agree with you 100%. In fact, I have a CGC Express order coming back this week. So,
very good.
Pretty excited about that. And I didn't realize how much it costs to ship to Canada until I sent back that slab that I got from I'm not going to say who that I sent to Canada, and it cost me $45 to ship that priority to Canada. And I was like, holy cow. And so I don't know how much it would cost you, but it's probably way more than that with the exchange rate. So yeah, it sucks. It does suck. Yeah. Question from Rimiku Studios. Do you think Doomsday Clock sucks? If so, what's wrong with you?
Hey man, like in the end, Doomsday Clock, the world, the whole idea of the universe can't exist without Superman, so that's a plus for me.
I agree with that. And I did
every universe, every way the world works, you need to have Superman, so I'm okay with that. Sorry, man.
Yeah, dude, I agree with you 100%. And like, I think we all wanted that Doc Manhattan Superman fight.
Yeah, they're not going to give it to us.
They weren't giving it to us.
No.
because Doc was gonna win. Let's be completely honest. Doctor Manhattan is like he's just a different being. Like you know, he's like a god almost. You know,
To
and
me, that,
Superman's super. Like obviously he's super. You know,
for what he
but we
did to
don't wanted that.
Rorschach,
But
I'll
the
never forgive
story
him.
there was a couple issues that we could have definitely done without for sure. But overall, I really enjoyed it,
Four
and
of them.
I enjoyed Jeff Johns' writing. Like what I realized about Jeff Johns is like he doesn't like create that many characters. You think about like how good of a writer he is. How many characters has he actually created? Not very many. But
Just
when you think about
Geiger.
how good of a writer he is, you just think about the stories he's written and how good the stories are.
I'll give you that.
Let's see here. Oh, gotcha. Like I said, if you guys have questions for Chris, put them in the chat.
Let's see what Scott just put there.
Wow.
I prefer the old M60 myself, but we're talking comic books.
Yes. Wow. That is hilarious. See, when I love a comic, I set it free. Fortunately, they don't move, so they are all still in my collection. Yeah, you got to slab those comics up because I'll tell you what, Tyler and Lee, they're coming for all the comic books, man. I'll tell you what, they're coming for them all. I disagree. If you love it, go raw. If you don't love it, use protection and be. Oh my gosh. What company do you prefer, CGC or CBCS?
I think I only have one or two CBCS, and they were gifted to me. I've dealt with CGC a million and one times, so it's easy for me to say that I prefer CGC. I do really like the new case that CBCS does.
Yeah, I agree.
I am not a fan of those labels that CGC does with the characters on the right side or whatever. I'm the kind of guy I like all the information right in the front, kind of thing. Like I want to be able to, find out if there's a first appearance of someone here, as opposed to seeing a character over there and then have to look to the back. Like if you just want to display this, well then you know what's up, kind of thing. Oh, well, this Turok has
There's plenty of room
a
to put
painted
that in
cover,
the middle.
right?
There's plenty of room to put that in the middle.
But yeah. CBCS, they're doing good things. I personally, I would like to see CBCS highlight their grade a little bit, like how they do here. They don't necessarily have to go with a white square. They could come up with their own thing, but that's those are just me nitpicking. Yeah, I could do the same thing with CGC all day.
For sure. I agree with you. Everything you said, I agree with. I only live 15 minutes away from the Ambassador Bridge to Canada. Nice.
Okay, so I'm presuming he's close to Windsor, maybe in Tecumseh or something. Oh no! He's on the other side. He's on the other side. Sorry, so he's in Detroit.
Yeah. I could give you his address. It's somewhere in IG. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. This is the question. This is the question. Barry Allen, Wally West. Who's the Flash? Who's your favorite? Which one do you like more? Go.
Comic books, Wally, DCEU, Barry.
Wait a second. Did I just hear you say you like the DCEU version of Barry?
I gotta admit, I like Zack Snyder's choice for the Flash. I like what he did with it. I don't mind Barry on the television show, but I prefer Wally in the comics.
Okay. I agree. I like Wally.
Okay.
What Zack Snyder did with Barry was good. I didn't like the casting for Barry. I do like Barry. I don't like the casting. But boxers or briefs? Now we're getting personal.
I wear boxer briefs.
Hey, me too.
All right. Wait,
I wear boxers.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup. No. Jay Garrick. Hey, you can't go wrong with Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
You cannot go wrong with Jay Garrick for sure. What are some comics you're looking to get right now, or looking to get maybe next year? What are some like big ones you're hunting for right now?
I'm working on a run of ASM 1 to 50. Amazing Fantasy 15 is just it's out of
Nuclear.
reach. It's just out of reach. It's not going to happen for me, and
Right.
I've come to peace with it. Um, with that being said, I think from 1 to 50, I've got 85% of it knocked off. Basically, all of it is low grade, which is fine. I do have a handful signed by Stan. I think there's 3 or 4 issues. But that'll be it. I picked up the first Electro. I have the first Goblin. I think the next big one I need is like I said at my mailbox. I either have issue 2 or issue 3. It escapes me at the moment, just because I have so much stuff in my mailbox. The big one that I'm going to try to get by next Christmas is the first Mysterio.
Oh, I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
and
Was
that'll
it like
be
ASM 13?
yep, because 14 is a Goblin. Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of myself for knowing that random number.
Right. But yeah, it's
Nice.
actually funny. Like issue 10 is probably the most affordable one of like from 1 to 15, because after 10 starts, you start getting some more first appearances, and then right after that you get Goblin, Mysterio, Craven, like all the big boys start showing up. So yeah, between hopefully by next Christmas, some sort of low grade blue label Mysterio, and that should be it for me. Knocking off the big Sinister Six. Like I said, outside of issue 2 or issue 3, whatever one I have. But
Thanks. You got all the ones after that then. You got like
I got Scorpion, Craven, Sandman's issue 4. I have that. Issue 5, I believe, was Doctor Doom's first appearance outside of Fantastic Four. I have that as
holy
well.
cow, dude.
Issue 6 or 7 was Lizard. I have that as well. Like, yeah, I picked up low grade raw copies off eBay that would be finishing in the middle of the night kind of thing, and pick them up for less than 150 US, and then
Nice.
get them slabbed up because I don't want them raw. Like, I'd read them, slab them.
Boom. So you got all the
Boom.
ones after that then? You got like let's say
Yeah,
like
I've knocked off. I think I have the straight run of, say, all the 30s. I think I'm missing the first Rhino. I think that might
but like
be.
anything after 50, do you like let's say like
Yeah, I
one
have odds. I have issue 50, which is Kingpin. I do have. I do, if I can find like a mid grade, at least a 4.5 kind of thing, for a good, like $100, under $150 at a con or on eBay or whatever, I'll pick it up. Like, I won't bat an eye. I'll just pull out my checklist. If it's available, I'll pick it up. And if it's something that I can upgrade, well, then I'll pick that up too. And then as soon as
I
it's
like it.
home, I'll let it go. I'll let the lower grade go to another collector, who I'm presuming there's thousands of us that are doing this as well. But yeah, I
I'm
do
doing that
have
with
50
Batman.
to 100, but just I haven't concentrated on it the way that I have 1 to 50. Sorry.
You're good, dude. You're good. I'm doing the same thing with Batman. Just picking them
Yeah.
up. Just trying to fill that run. Just trying to fill it over time. Over time, for sure. Okay. Since we had the Flash question, who's the better Robin?
Oh, I did. Now, here's the thing. I can remember A Death in the Family, and I actually participated in that when
Okay.
the
Jason.
Joker was going to kill Jason Todd.
Yes.
And then, DC put it out there. I think you could call one of the hotline numbers
Yep.
for a quarter or whatever it was, and put your vote in. And I voted to save him, because I felt bad for the guy, because he just lost his mom.
Right.
And I didn't want to see him, take on, arguably the greatest villain of all time by himself, because that's exactly what would happen. And sure enough, he did. So I enjoyed Jason Todd as Robin.
So he's your favorite. There you go. I like it.
He's who I grew up with,
Okay.
because Dick had already become Nightwing at that
Sure.
point when I started reading DC, and Nightwing was his own character,
Yep.
and just a part of Teen Titans, and I enjoyed Teen Titans. So I actually didn't want to see Nightwing go back to the Bat family that way. And then
Sure.
Jason Todd came along, and he was very rambunctious and very rebellious, and this
I love
problem
it.
child. And I'm like, this is great. And then the Joker blew him up. Blew him to smithereens.
This is still sitting here from Slab Hud.
Yep.
Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, let's see here. Crowbars, better Robin.
I wouldn't say the better Robin. I'm just going to say my favorite Robin.
Yeah. And that's good to have a favorite for sure. Me and Mark go back and forth about that because, I am a Dick Grayson fan. And I really like Jason Todd as well. I love how his attitude and how BA he is. And he reminds me a lot of Raphael, which I love Raphael. He's my favorite Ninja Turtle. But I actually think Dick Grayson's my personal favorite. But like I said, everyone's got their own, and that's great. Let's see. Yes, I knew. I like that. See, I told you. Me and Mark go round and round about that. I'll tell you what. Oh shit.
Communism is a wonderful idea in theory. It just doesn't work in the real world today. Unless you live in Cuba.
This turned into something else. This turned into something else. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Amazing. I do have to ask you. So we're gonna see some slabbages on the wall. We're gonna see some comics on the wall at some point. Maybe like a shelf or something. What's gonna happen there? You know what you could do? You could do the green screen since you got a solid color background and just put comics behind you.
Well, I have too much respect for Remy Q to
try to steal that idea.
Yeah, to bite his style. No, Remy Q is he owns that. That's his own thing. Like, I almost get offended now when I see people in their car. I'm like, what are you doing? But no, I would love to do something like that. I wouldn't know what I would display. I have so much love. Like, I would try to show the Wolverine trilogy. I would show my Spider-Man 1. But how much room would I have? I would love to show the Middleton Batgirl from 32. Just an epic piece of art. Probably my favorite cover that's been made in the last 5 years. Just beautiful. There's no other words. And like, how could I tie that in there? How could I put that beside, like, Hulk 181 kind of thing? So
you had a Hulk 181?
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
I actually, hold on.
Yeah, he's got it handy.
Right here.
Oh my gosh.
So we all have a dream book, and I managed to get, I won a copy of 182. No, 180. Yeah, a copy of 180 from Torpedo. It was an 8.5 Mark Jewelers variant. And then I had a little bit of money, and I decided I'm going to take care of a childhood dream.
That is amazing.
And I can remember that I had this book in the box it came in for a few weeks, and what I decided to do near last Christmas, or shortly after last Christmas, was put together a video of a bunch of personal grails and real grails that I had accumulated over the last couple months, and just have a great big unboxing, fest. And I opened up New Mutants 98. There's a few other things, and I saved that for last. And I can remember the very first time when I actually looked at it, I was literally sucking the tears back into my face, because I felt like that 12-year-old, like, finally, like 35 years later, I finally have a copy of, that we're talking about a book that you can just say 3 numbers and people know what you're talking about. You don't even have to say anything. You just like, hey man, did you see that 181 over there? And everyone knows what you're talking about. And
you definitely think about Hulk 181 before Batman 181, and they're both big keys, but Batman 181 does not compare to Hulk 181.
There's a third key that's numbered 181. Daredevil. And I made a video about that too, saying I got 181, and just trying to get some views. People thinking it was going to be that, but it was it's Daredevil 181, which is a very important key as well, especially in the Marvel universe.
kick myself all the time. Right before, like, it was the weekend that the pandemic was starting. I was in Nebraska. We went there to go to the Omaha Zoo, and we went to a comic book shop on the way home. And this shop had a raw copy of a Hulk number 181, missing the Marvel value stamp. So it was going to be a green label, but it was about a 4 or so, and they were asking 1,000.
How do you feel about it today?
And I should have bought it.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, at the time, like, I think I looked it up. I'm like, green labels are like $1,400. I'm like, okay, so if I get this, pressed, graded, they're gonna charge me more. Probably gonna be like $1,200 into this book. Only make $200 if I decide to sell it. Well, now a green label 4.0 is probably like 2,000 or 3,000. So I wish I would have bought that, and I'm sure I could have got a better deal for it. But you live and learn. Mark got his 4.0 or is it 4.5? One of those two, for a pretty good price. I'm not going to say what he paid, but pretty good price right before the prices went crazy. So kudos to him for pulling the trigger when I did not, for sure. Are you saying that Remy's backgrounds aren't real? Mind blown.
Sorry, man. I don't think him and is it Angel have a baby grand in their living room.
Right. I have another question. When was the first appearance of Gambit? Ooh, hot topic.
So I'm tainted for personal reasons as an Arthur Adams fan. For those of you who don't know who did the artwork for X-Men Annual, the first appearance of Gambit, it was Arthur Adams. So my answer is always the X-Men Annual. In my opinion, is the first appearance. But I get why,
Hulk 180 is the first appearance of Hulk. Or sorry, Wolverine.
Look, Todd, that's what Todd McFarlane says. Todd McFarlane says Venom's first appearance is $2.99.
First full appearance. There's two different things.
Here we go.
First, if we're talking first appearance, don't say anything else. That's Hulk 180. It's got to be.
All right.
But
So just to quote my late father, his response would be this:
okay,
you can't be a little bit pregnant. You either are or you aren't. Which, that's it. So if he shows up in a comic book, guess what?
Right. Okay, so Chris said that a Batman 181 is bigger than a Hulk 181 because it's the first appearance versus the second appearance.
Well, then Daredevil
here's what we'll go by, okay? A 9.0, and he might be right. I'm just looking it up. I'm just going to say facts. Okay. A 9.0 Hulk 181, 10,500. Okay, now let's look up a Batman 181.
Okay, we're going to talk about it. So I guess this then would be
7,200.
No, this is 182.
According to Go Collect, 181 is worth more. I do like that 182. I do like that cover.
Yeah, Hammer and Enfield. This is actually the second one of these that I've owned. Yeah.
I did read behind me Immortal Hulk number 50.
Oh.
And, I was completely confused because I haven't been reading it. There was a red Hulk and a green Hulk. I don't know which one is Bruce Banner. I really don't know.
Green Hulk.
I figured it was a green one. Yeah. I don't know who the red one was. I'm assuming it was a Thunderbolts guy, but I didn't know.
Sure. Ross?
Yeah. But I didn't know. I'm not a Hulk guy. I don't know that stuff. But I read the whole thing.
Well, now
as hell, but
you can get on the ground floor with
see, that's why I did it. I was
Starship
like,
Hulk, better known as the Enterprise.
I'll try issue 1 from Donnie and see if it's good or not. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Au fromage.
Weird. Avengers 181 is for Scott Lang. See, there you go. We're learning. Scott's over here teaching. He's teaching us.
Facts.
If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and put them in chat. We're trying to get out of here in the next couple of minutes. Chris, what do you got going on your channel coming up, or what do you got going on in comic books in general, other people's channels, all that stuff?
So yesterday, Mark and I do a collab video weekly, where we both just pick one hot book that we think you may want to consider picking up for New Comic Book Day for a variety of reasons. Two cool guys hot picks. That was on my channel yesterday. Earlier today, I dropped a Mystery Box Monday offering where I opened a jscottcampbell.com mystery box that was actually featured other artists as well. There's a potential for some autographs from Arthur Adams, Todd McFarlane, Greg Capullo, Tyler Kirkham, and I actually did pretty damn well. This is the
See,
second
I got
time
the notification. I haven't had a chance to
yeah,
watch it yet.
it's the
I
second time I opened this box and I did pretty good. Pretty good.
nice.
Tomorrow I will be offering my contest entry into the Gary B 1000 subscriber contest push that he has going on, where it's a part of that Grow Together initiative where you just spotlight 3 channels that you may want to give some recognition to for people that watch your own thing. So that's now filmed and edited. Wednesday, I do a live comic book day, or pardon me, a new comic book day hangout live. It's basically an open invitation for every, if you got some new books recently, it could be stuff in the mail, it could be stuff from last week. Just hop on and show it off and tell us why you picked it up. Saturday, I'll be on Rob's Fat Stacks channel talking about Slab Hub, and that's a lot of fun. And
Last week was a lot of fun. I had a good time being on.
Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of morphed into this whole freewheeling kind of thing, and it's fun. And Sunday night, as always, Mark invites me to be a part of that small collective for At Week's End, where we take a spoiler look back at everything that just happened in pop culture for the last week.
I love it.
Thank you. Yourself?
Well, I might have a video come out tomorrow. I got to work until like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock tomorrow, and then drive an hour home. So tomorrow is going to be about a 16-hour day. I was planning on having my top 10 comics for November come out tomorrow, and I still may shoot at least part of it tonight, and then maybe part of it tomorrow after work, and kind of do some unique editing to make it look like I filmed it all at the same time. And then I'm gonna have my Wednesday comic haul. I'll probably do that since I didn't go last week either. Thursday night chat on Thursday night, and then I should have my express order here on Friday or Saturday, and I am super stoked on that. And then Saturday, I'm going to be in Topeka going to this Comic Con that Panda and Beckerman might be at. So,
very good.
I might shoot some stuff for that as well. So that's essentially the stuff for the week for sure. We had a couple questions real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Are you still planning on attending C2E2 at a king size? What should we call it with your name on it?
So I often say the greatest invention the Americans ever bestowed on its people is the king size whatchamacallit candy bar. I don't say chocolate bar, but it's a candy bar. And they are incredibly hard to find in Canada, incredibly hard to find, especially
I
the
can go to
king
a gas
size.
station right up the street
Yeah,
in the middle of nowhere,
I know.
Kansas, and find one.
I get it. It's a sore topic for me, man. But
shoot.
yeah, C2E2, fingers crossed. We'll see how the border is. We'll see how money is. I'd love to make it to Chicago. We'll see how it goes.
I'm not gonna go because it's right before finals week at school and right before Christmas, and I just shouldn't be spending that money or anything. I would love to go any other time of the year. I would love to go, but except for football season, of course.
Yeah. Normally it's in February, so I don't know why they couldn't just wait another 2 months.
If you could hang out with any current writer, who would you choose?
Chip Zdarsky.
He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that just because he's Canadian either. He just has a fantastic sense of humor. Yeah. Like, come on, he wrote Sex Criminals. Like, come on. That's
yeah, who knows? No one knows. That variant's still in South Africa as of now, and 14 other countries. So it'll probably be everywhere soon.
There's 2 cases in Ontario, 1 in Quebec. I'm not liking the odds. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it other than I have heard it's shouldn't be any different than the Delta variant, but who knows? Yeah. The news I'll say quick rant. The news, whenever they hear variant coronavirus, they want more. They just want more. They just want to give it to us. Give us
fear,
this
fear,
news.
fear, fear, fear.
Exactly. And regardless of how you feel about the coronavirus, I think we can all agree that the media just wants coverage on it because they know people will watch it. So whatever. Boy. Well, thank you, Chris, so much for coming on, dude. This was a ton of fun having you on. Thank you to everyone in the chat for hanging out. We had a great time. Thank you also to comicbook_Preston and IG. Like I said, if you ever need any books pressed, hit up Eric over at comicbook_Preston and IG. Use my promo code BERK54. Get free shipping back to you on your first order. Thank you to the 616comics.com for sponsoring the monthly Berk Box. Make sure you guys check them out over at the 616comics.com for all of your exclusive variants and comic book needs. Thank you also to the channel members. Family tier, get Legion of Comics, Comic Book Poser, DJ Link, Slaughtered Up 503, White Shadow, Jade, Remiku Studios, Sealess E-Man, Small Town Collectibles, Cardboard Crazies, Blue Hellion Comics, Nick's Kicks and Comics, Hoarder's Hide, Warlord, Actual Dracula, The Barrack 75, Paul Rogers, Tomorrow Cinema, Austin LeMay, Kidrana Prince, Oregon Wyam, Carlito Classico, Shatterglass Comic Reviews, Becker, Mark Spector Comics, Flash 6792, Sector 2815, Adrian Panda, Rob Sat Sex, Selwyn, and War Machine Punisher Comics and Collectibles. Thank you guys so much for being the family tier that entered to win that monthly Berk Box, again, sponsored by the 616comics.com. And a friend tier, we got New Guy, Dale Suspense, Flo Dameron, and of course, the Comic Vet. A link to everyone's Instagram or YouTube is in the description of all my videos. Make sure you guys are following them, subscribe to them, and supporting this amazing community. And shout out to Chris, the Comic Vet, for reaching 500 subscribers. Right now, he's currently at 508 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Please go ahead and hit that sub button over there and subscribe to the Comic Vet. Thank you again so much, Chris, for coming on, man. It was an awesome time. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for the invite.
It was an awesome time. And as always, go Cats, Cowabunga,